You know, the pandemic has completely redefined the way we communicate and work. For instance, it used to be that only certain persons and certain businesses offered remote work, but now that is a mainstay. So, how do you, as a leader and a manager, manage your team and engage your team while remote? Well, I'm here to give you 10 tips and 10 ways that you can successfully. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to welcome you. I'm Dr. David Glover, and I am committed to sharing moments that inspire you to live and to lead. So now, if you have a minute, in a moment, I want you to click the subscribe button, and as well, don't forget to click the bell so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. And in this video, I want to talk about something that is very needed and a necessity for this time, and that is engaging remotely. How do you keep your team? How do you keep your managers, if you have mid-managers? How do you keep them engaged? With the advent of everything that's happening, of the pandemic, and organizations are moving swiftly. It was already burgeoning before, but because of everything that's happening, every industry is being impacted in how they revolutionize in their organization working from home or working remotely. The question at hand is, how do you maintain engagement from your employees? How do you make sure that they're fully committed, fully doing what they're supposed to be doing, and giving all that you need to be successful? Because face it, it is imperative to know that engagement is the backbone of your success as a team. You cannot get what you need. You cannot be as productive. You cannot be as formidable without having everyone have engagement. So how do you get that? I want to give you very quickly 10 different ways that you need to make sure you're checking them off to make sure that you're getting full engagement from your team members. You ready? Here we go. Number one, we want to give employees a sense of belonging. Everybody wants to feel like they belong here, like they're connected, like they're not ostracized or they're not outliers. They want to feel a part. So you have to develop ways that allow engagement, allow for every voice to be heard, whether that's, group meetings and making sure everybody is playing their part or giving out assignments that suits to what they believe in or what they can contribute. Number two, define goals for remote workers. You have to realize and at least make it known that you took in consideration that asynchronous work, working away from the together, body by body, side by side, impacts what goals can and cannot be made. What does that look like? But that you're just not lifting up. You were required to do this work while you were in person, and you're required there was no consideration or reevaluation. Even if you say we went over, we scrubbed down, we reviewed, just to make sure that we were being fair in what our goals, meeting our goals, even the milestones to the goal. How does that look? What does that look like? So that the employees feel like you are being fair. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is improve your communication strategy and communicate regularly. Because of the fact that you are not together at work, and face it, at work, you know that you had distractions. You know that your employees were distracted. Your team was distracted. So at home how much more prevalent can distractions interrupt. So making sure, number one, that you're communicating just to keep fresh in their mind, keep where they're at, being able to see if someone's going off course, because we all need that accountability. We all need that extra nudge, just to not micromanage, but to say that we're still interested in the success of the team. Okay, so improve a communication strategy. What will that look like? Engage your team. what does this look like? Would this work? Can we now, instead of having weekly meetings, maybe we have daily check-ins for an hour, which rolls into number 4, which is check in frequently and be proactive. Do not wait. Do not wait. Do not be reactive when something happens, but try and see what risks could happen. What could actually be expected, and how can that be mitigated? How can we reduce that from happening? Or if it's inevitable, what do we do when it happens? And again, engage the whole team in that process if possible. Okay, but check in frequently. One-on-ones, teams, do it. You can't really over communicate, because even over communicating is just enough communication. So that is number 4. You want to be able to check in regularly and to be proactive. Number five, put relevant information at their fingertips. Because they don't have the access of getting up to come and walk and what feels like just a moment, because again, I can't see what my team member is doing or what my manager is doing. So now I'm just sitting, waiting idly. But as much information, much resources that you can put at their fingertips as shortcuts, as different guidelines or links that will help them perform to the best of their ability, will definitely reduce stress and allow them to feel better and to produce more. So thus feeling better about their work, being more proactive about their work. So putting that information at their fingertips is critical. Number 6, enable and encourage knowledge sharing. This is a wonderful thing. This is where you should be able to have maybe even a folder or a link or a site or a development page where if I find out something, that I'm able to share that knowledge so that the next person could find this knowledge and be able to apply it and make their job just that much more simpler. Also, it helps me have ownership and onus of my work, and helps me to feel good about my engagement into my team, that I provided some assistance, that I provided some authority, some level of authority by even presenting the knowledge that I acquired. Putting that there helps not only the team as a whole, but it helps the person that's putting it into that repository, into that place designated where you can share that knowledge. Number 7, empower the employee. And if you haven't noticed, that has been kind of linked, and all of these are kind of building and overlapping on each other. It helps each other, but making sure that you're doing that and being intentional about the remote workers wanting to be a part of decision making, so that they feel that they're not just working and being led by a taskmaster, but that that we are truly a team, that this is a partnership, that our meeting the goal is all hinged upon each other, that without me you can't meet the goal, which is actually the truth. But making sure that they know that their voice is valuable, that their voice is heard, and their thoughts are usable. So making sure that you empower them, number 1, with the tools that they need to be successful. Is nothing worse than being assigned a job and you got to search, how can I even do what is required? That becomes stressful, and it dilutes and reduces and depletes engagement and motivation, which is again the backbone to the team's success. So you want to make sure that you are empowering your team. Number 8, make collaboration and communication fun. Find a way to de-stress what is already stressful. You're already going to have hiccups. You're already going to have hurdles, because it's new, because it's something that times are stressful with pandemic and things that are going on. You try to have as much fun. Even your little oops stories help make it a little more laughable, livable. It makes you relatable. To having a leader saying, today I've had the worst day, or I've had a challenging day, or it's not working for me today. That makes you human, and it makes the team feel like, okay, it's not just me. I'm not working for a person who is a perfectionist, or at least expects perfection, that we are human, that we have ebbs and flows. But make it, have just a little trivia or thought of the day that's inspirational, or haha little story memes or just little things like that can change the whole perspective of a day and a work organization. That you are more family friendly, that you are not robots, but that you're human, that you actually have emotions. Those things connote joy, peace, and a range of emotions, whether that's happy or sad. So be able to make those collaborations, put people together, ask for information. Even if you think you have the answer, sometimes you have the answer and somebody gives an answer like, I never thought of it. Or they have the answer, the same answer, and it actually jives with yours and brings you both feeling like, oh, okay, so we're on the same wavelength, and you get to appreciate. That is a relationship that you get to deposit into the other person, that you get to pour into your humanity, your emotional intelligence, your relational ability. So you want to make sure that you collaborate, that every voice is important. Okay, you have to have that. Even if you feel a different way as a leader, your team should not know that. Your team should not be able to identify that. But everyone, you have to believe that every human is important. That has to be a backbone of your belief, your personal belief, because if not, it is going to spill over. So you need to work on that as well. Number 9, encourage peer-to-peer feedback. A lot of times as a leader, you have the authority to give feedback, but a lot of times it becomes a wall between you and the employee, or you and the other team member, when you are the authority. So sometimes it works better when you have people around, peer to peer, that are the same level, that are laterally on the same level, so that wavelength just emotes a different kind of feel. It gives you a different type of texture when you say it, peer to peer, versus it being it may be defensive and feel like you're being attacked from high, when you look at a hierarchy giving the feedback. So peer-to-peer, see if you can just say, hey guys, what do you think about this thought that was brought? I think it's a wonderful idea, or I think this is an idea worth discussion, so that you don't bias the feedback that's given. Just say, this is a thought. What do you all say about this? Peers, let's just talk about it. Let's have a quick discussion. No thought is bad. It just, every thought is discussable. Is a different way to look at it. And number 10 is choose the right communication tool. And this is very important. This is very vital, because you want to be able, some things are best said face to face. You need to be able, especially if it's a hard message, sending it via email may not be the best thing. Sending it, a text may not be the best thing. You may have to pick up the phone, even if, being remote, you may have to use Skype. You may have to use, or whatever mechanism that you need to use. You have to be able to survey and remind yourself what method of communication is best. Should it be said in a group setting, or should it be a one-on-one? Should it be, I bring the people that are clearly impacted versus bringing everybody? Or is it something that I don't need to just have a private, I need to bring the whole group? Those are the evaluations you need to put on the table and consider before sending out that communication, because once it's out there, it cannot be retracted. Even if you retract it, it has never been retracted. The energy, the impact has already been had, and it can't be undone. You can't go back in time, which is the only way to retract the communication. I hope that this video has given you some reminders, or some good points, some good tools. In the comments below, please go ahead and tell me your thoughts, if this was helpful, if this was needful, if you could use this, even if you can share this. This is good. I want you to please click the button to subscribe if you have not done so already, and click the bell button so that you're alerted anytime a new video is uploaded weekly. I put these out weekly. And also, I do have my book. I do talk about this topic in the book as well, which is building and managing organizations. I will put the link to order this book below as well. So I want you to remain healthy, remain strong, remain whole, lead, and be blessed.